Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. Faith versus your problems. Hebrews 11:32 to 34 says, "And what more shall I say? For time will fail me if I tell you of Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, of David and Samuel and the prophets, who by faith, that is, with an enduring trust in God and his promises, they subdued kingdoms, administered justice, obtained promised blessings, closed the mouths of lions, extinguished the power of raging fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, became mighty and unbeatable in battle, putting enemy forces to flight." We have been looking at faith in the lives of some outstanding Bible characters. The narrative about their lives is full of drama, intrigue, suspense, miracles, trust in God. That is what faith is, trusting God. Faith is trusting God when you cannot trust in yourself. Faith is trusting God when you are facing the impossible. Faith is trusting God when you are confronted with problems that you cannot solve, when problems loom larger than your finite mind and human resources can solve, when it seems like there is no solution. It is in those moments and it's against those situations that faith shines. That is when you adopt an attitude of confidence and assurance that this thing is going to calm down, that this problem is going to be solved, that the impossible will be taken care of. This is what the text is about. I'm fascinated that the writer came to a point where it seems like he had ran out of time, or that he could be saying, "What more proof do you want in order to start having faith?" So look at what he does. He gives a list of individuals who in their own circumstances had to use faith. Some of them he named and some were simply referred to as the prophets. But it is what follows that is exciting. These were ordinary men and some not so ordinary. But look at the narrative of their stories, how these people adopted a faith stance against some impossible-looking situations, some problems larger than large, and still they had favorable outcomes. Look at Gideon, the ordinary man who God called to take a small group of about 300 men to go up against a large and powerful kingdom, the Midianites, and Gideon defeated them. There was Samson, reputed to be the strongest man who ever lived. Samson's story was colorful, but Samson defeated the powerful Philistines single-handedly, not with an army. Samson, despite his shortcomings, had faith in the God who endowed him with supernatural strength. We could go on just highlighting the outcome of impossible situations that ordinary people were faced with when there seems to be no way out, and it was their faith that stood firm and they had great success. Their successes included such things as conquering kingdom, administering justice, gaining what God had promised, experiencing the shutting of lions' mouth, saw the fury of flames be quenched, escaping death by the sword. Do you get the point, my friend? There was nothing supernatural about these people. They were not superhumans. They were regular, ordinary men who went about their ordinary business, but they were faced with impossible situations, or in some cases, God called them out to deal with impossible situations. These men, they acted by faith. Faith is hard to explain, but let us look again at two features of faith. By definition, it says that faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Faith comes against problems, impossible problems. At the core of faith is the outcome that the person desires. But that outcome seems impossible. That outcome doesn't seem as if it will ever come true. Faith says, think again. Faith says, change that mindset and start believing that the impossible situation you are dealing with, that it can and it will come true. Think about your situation. Is there a big problem that you're dealing with? What makes it so big? It's the outcome that you desire, my friend. You are dealing with a sickness and the outcome that you desire is impossible. So the sickness becomes a big problem. The doctors tell you that it is incurable, that you will have to live with it for the rest of your life. Or you're in a deep financial situation and the outcome that you desire just will not happen. That becomes a big problem. You have to start seeing it happen through eyes of faith. You have to have the confidence that it will come true. Folks around says it cannot. The science says it cannot. The history of such a problem says it cannot. Faith says it can happen. Faith makes you believe against the logical that even though there is nothing to support your position, that you have this great assurance that it will come true. Number 2, if you don't have faith, you cannot please God. Your relationship with God is founded on faith. You came to Jesus because of your faith, and he made you into a member of his family. So your relationship onward has to be one of faith. When you have faith, you make God happy because it shows that you believe in him, that you know that he is a God who keeps his promise, that you know that when there is an impossible situation, that you know your heavenly Father will take care of it. When you have faith, God is so happy because you're now functioning on the knowledge that God specializes in the impossible. Do you have that kind of faith? Do you believe that with God nothing is impossible? My friend, there is no problem, listen, no problem that is too big for God. You simply have to have faith in God.